Hello, and welcome to Self-Publishing Insiders. My name is Mark Leslie Lefebvre. I am the Director of Business Development for Draft2Digital, and I'm honored and thrilled to be here today. And today is July 4th, 2024. I'm honored here to say, as the only Canadian who works for Draft2Digital, a huge shout out and celebration and hello to all of my American friends from Draft2Digital who hopefully are celebrating or hanging out with friends or family, just relaxing, enjoying the celebration of July 4th. We here in Canada celebrated our own on July 1st, Canada Day. So waving to you, friends from the US, wishing you a happy Independence Day. And of course, to people in the rest of the world, hey, hello. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is where you're watching this from. Now, today's topic is just going to be, and if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the comments. But I wanted to go through something because I think I joined Draft2Digital 4 or 5 years ago and had been using it as an author for a long time. And even almost every week or every month, I rediscover something that Draft2Digital had created for us authors to use and completely forgot about because over the 12 years of Draft2Digital's existence, have been constantly adding tools and features. And so what I wanted to do is this 10 things you likely didn't know about Draft2Digital. And Guillaume, good to see you there. I want to live in Canada. Well, we would, of course, welcome you. And of course, I'm assuming you speak Francais. That's one of the dual languages in Canada, English and French. And of course, just right with Jody says happy 4th, hugs. Over to our friend Tracy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and kind of just go through this because you probably know quite a few of the things here. But let's start off with a couple things. So you probably already know we distribute to a huge number of retailers and libraries around the world. That's pretty well known. You can kind of see it in your dashboard very easily. But did you know that you can mass opt in to our numerous partner sites at any time? So when we first announce a new partner, and there are some more partners coming up because we've always got stuff in the queue, always working hard. The developers are always working hard behind the scenes. You get a pop-up that says, do you want to mass opt into, I think Fable was the last partner we announced, and they're a great partner, of course, but sometimes when you log in, you don't know. It's like, well, what is Fable? I want to go check things out and I want to hit that button. So if you don't hit the button, you can always email our support team, support@draft2digital.com. But what you could also do is go to the Multibook Actions and mass opt in to any of those partners. So let me just show this screenshot to you here. So you go over to your account, you click on account, and then you scroll down to where it says Multibook Actions, and you click on that. And the two things there is the Smashword Store Coupon Manager, which is awesomeness. But then you can also mass opt into a store, and then you get an option to show the various places. So, for example, when I go there, I can see there's for Amazon Kindle, there's a bunch of books I haven't opted into. Well, that's probably because I'm publishing there direct. So you have to be careful about those things, especially if you do what I do, where it's different for every book that you publish. But then you can kind of see the different platforms, and you can opt in. You can always opt in one by one. You can always email the support team to help you with it, or you can DIY it. And I love the DIY approach. It's part of us being independent authors. So something else you probably already knew is the interior book design templates. So you've got the standard interior book design templates. I've even lost count of them, but that allows you to do things like making fancy things like drop caps and different chapter headers and stuff like that. And they're broken up by nonfiction and fiction and different styles of genres. But did you know that we've added poetry to our custom templates? Oh, look at that little typo. That should be a capital T. Not well, what are you going to do, right? Every writer needs an editor. So this is just an example. So with the poetry templates, because in standard text-based content, the poetry doesn't always format in the same way. Poets tend to want to control where you've got hanging lines and indents and stuff like that. And so the poetry template is a lot more forgiving and allows you a bit more control as an author when you're creating that. So again, that's a really cool thing. So I'm going to address a few comments before I continue on here. Hey, Thomas, good to see you as well. And okay, Dana says, je parle français un peu. and I hope I pronounced that properly for you, Dina. So do I. I pronounce, I speak, je parle français un peu, and so do I. Un petit peu more for me, which is a little bit. And then Beth says, why are your offices closed on Juneteenth, but not Independence Day? Do you not support our country's founding principles? Well, you know what, Beth? Actually, the Draft2Digital office is closed. I am the token Canadian on the team, and I thought it would be so much fun while all my friends in the U.S. are off today, enjoying, celebrating their independence. But also, Draft2Digital is international in its thinking and behavior as well. So that's, as me as the token foreign guy on the team, celebrating today and wanting to share this great content with you. Okay, cool. Glad you made it as well. Opportunities, cool. And then, question comes up here is from Barbara saying, any progress on having pre-orders on Amazon? At this particular point, pre-orders on Amazon, are you talking, Barbara, ebooks or audiobooks? Not audiobooks, I should say, or print books, because there could be different answers there. But I would strongly recommend you email that in to support@draft2digital.com, and people much smarter than myself can handle that one. Oh, and look, Jim is taking a break from relaxing on the fourth and is answering questions in the comments. Hey, Jim, come on, dude, you're supposed to be relaxing today. So, and good question. So Aunt Sophia says, does all you say apply to both ebook and print? And so, yes. So let me go back to that. So for that's for ebooks, for opting into those platforms, because print is just a single platform. It basically goes into our print partner and gets distributed through Ingram's wholesale platform. But for these templates, there are similar templates for print as well. So they can work for print and they can work for ebook, but they still, even though the templates are similar or the same templates, you can adjust, have a different ebook template than a print book template. So thank you for that question as well. So, and Megan's here too. Megan's here too. Megan, you're supposed to be relaxing today. Megan, always the champion of authors, and you're going to find out more about that later on. But let me move on to the free automated print covers. So this is a bonus. There's 10 points. There's maybe, 14, 16 points, but free automated print covers. So if you've only purchased a front cover for your books, you can go in and use our template that'll automatically make a machine perfect spine wraparound. This is an example of one of my 70 odd page mini story collections called Active Reader, where I just had the front cover done, and then I can customize the text on the back. I can even add all kinds of cool features. And so that means I don't have to pay for that extra cover design, which is, I think, kind of pretty cool. And I tend to use it. So usually when I'm doing a full book, I have the cover designer, do the full book wrap. But when I'm doing the other projects, smaller projects, where it's just a little bit of an extra expense for me, I usually take advantage of Draft2Digital's free cover wrap, which is kind of cool. And if you watched last week, Jim and Nick were talking about the improved SelfPub book covers. This is another bonus, just sort of a callback to that. And you can always watch that on our YouTube channel or on Facebook. And I see we've got more YouTube watchers than Facebook watchers today, currently right now, but who knows what that'll be in the future. But selfpubbookcovers.com, you can always check out that video from last week. But that's where you can go and find some really great covers. This is just an example of some of the ones that I've done for smaller projects. So for example, Active Reader, when I had a foreign language edition, I was able to go and use the same cover I purchased and mock up a different language cover. Which was kind of a cool thing to do. And right now, and I know Nick talked last week about the customization is going to get even better, but it's still pretty slick now, where you can go in, you can change it from the default font, you can slide things around, move things around, change the text. So again, that's a really, really amazing feature. Now, number 3 of the things I wanted to share with you is we have an easy to use account sharing option. So why would you want to share your account? Well, sharing your account is something that you may want to do when you're getting support or help from a virtual assistant. And the way you can do that, for example, is you go and you click on the account button right there. And that takes you over to your account, and click on account sharing. And under account sharing, what you can kind of see here is I have a whole bunch of different people that I've worked with over time, and I can give them access to just update data for me, but not have access to my banking or my sales information. For example, somebody who may be helping me by wanting to upload, my cover designer might want to upload it directly to my account. I don't need to give them a login. I can just assign them access to go and update my account, and then I can revoke that access when they're done, which is kind of cool. You can imagine authors who maybe have literary agents who want to track their sales only, but you don't want them touching your data. They may be able to go in and run sales reports that they can potentially use as they're trying to sell foreign language rights or other rights for your books, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of a really great feature because it doesn't compromise your account. You can still log in. Virtual assistants can, for example, log in and to their own account and then toggle without having to log out again, toggle between helping 10, 20, 30, 40 different writers. So again, that can be a very handy thing. So I'm going to go back to the questions here. All right. Oh, okay. This is personal. When you get the chance, your danger wall sign, where did you get it? I need it. Thank you, Friendly One, for that question. That's really cool. So my partner Liz made it for me. It was a sign. It had something else on it. I can't remember what it was. She kind of stripped it, repainted it, and then went to Michael's, and then she just glued the various letters, author at work, and so it fell off the wall once, and the K fell off. So I was author at work for a long time. so thank you for asking that one here. Okay, the next question is Bill asks, can DDD help with mods on my own cover? Not quite yet, Bill. However, I didn't catch the full video of Jim and Nick next week, so I'm not sure what the plans are for SelfPub book covers where you can kind of load something and make some changes. But I think I did. He did mention that there were designers on hand. So email support at draft2digital.com, and I'm sure Nick or somebody from the team will get back to you with when that's going to be available. So that could be a really great opportunity for you as well. Saying hi to Beth. Uploaded my debut. Congrats, Beth. That's so awesome. Can you tell me about setting up my author page? Author page, I might be getting to author page a little bit later, but setting up your author page, Beth, in a nutshell, very quickly, is via your books2read.com account. And that's the same login you'd have for Draft2Digital. Once you get the Books to Read link, you'll see it on your dashboard right under your title. You can click on that. It'll take you over to Books to Read in a new tab or a new window. Log in. You log in with the same data for Draft2Digital. And right there in your dashboard, you can custom name the link to the name of the book title if that's available. And then you can go and custom name your author page. And I think I get to author pages a little bit later to show you what that looks like. So thank you guys for that question. Let's move over to the next thing to know. So number 4 is we also offer a great collaboration with payment splitting. We don't just calculate how much different authors are going to make for ebooks, print, and even audio, because we do have an audio partnership through Apple. So that is something that you can do for payment splitting. Draft2Digital will actually pay each contributor directly and send each payee their own unique tax forms. So this is an example of one of the books I co-authored with my dear friend, Julie Strauss, American, celebrating Independence Day. We wrote Hex in the City together, so I published it through Draft2Digital, and you can see that the payment splitting is enabled on that. So there's a little tag that kind of shows that. And then when I go into my dashboard and I click on that, I can edit or add. And so you can see I put in Julie's email and her name. And this is a particular case where she's writing in my universe. So we had an agreed upon contract that we created, and always recommend you have these contracts outside of our system so that you have that with the other author. And because it's my universe, we agreed that I would keep 60% of the proceeds for the sales, and Julie would get 40% as my co-author. Normally it'd be 50-50, but she felt a little bad because it was my universe, so we did it that way. And so, and this is a really great question that Barbara pops up. And Barbara, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 150%, because that's what, it would be 132%, which would be the Canadian translation based on the, American to US dollars. But yeah, if authors, collab authors could order their own author copies. I like the idea. There's a bit of development involved in that. What I strongly suggest you please do, Barbara, is email that request to support at draft2digital.com. And this is why we built things. This is why we built the poetry template. We had authors request it and constantly request it. Now, I could say tomorrow, I go onto the Slack channel tomorrow when my colleagues are back and say, Barbara suggested that we should have this, but it honestly doesn't carry as much weight when I do it as hearsay, other than when Barbara emails directly to the support team, because then they have a trackable ticket and they say, well, Barbara emailed this and Jim emailed this and Mark emailed this and a whole bunch of people emailed and requested it. And then they understand the weight of how important that can be for collaborators. So yeah, I agree with you there as well. Okay, so let me move on to the next slide here. Okay, so this is just an example of an anthology I edited. You can actually have up to 99 contributors, 1% for each, for 99 other contributors. So it's like adds up to 100, has to add up to 100. This is an example of, and so you can see is one of the co-authors, Dean and Chris, they're a couple and they have the same account together. So everyone in that anthology is getting 5%. They're getting 10% because it's going to a single one, but you can custom control that. So that's kind of a cool thing. This is another example of a book that I published for a friend of mine, How to Write a Howling Good Story by Wolf Moon. And this is just an example of, he paid for all the editing and I was just doing the logistics of getting the book out into the market. So this is a case where he's keeping most of the money, but we're kind of benefiting from each other's excellence there. So price scheduling, assetless pre-orders, and Smashwords pre-sales. I know it says 5, there's really 3 there, but I wanted to stick a whole bunch into them. So let's talk a little bit about price scheduling, assetless pre-orders, and Smashwords pre-sales. So price scheduling. So for example, I've got price promos running this month. I got an international BookBub today. I had a bargain booksy on a different book in the same series, and I've got another many promos that are happening over the next few weeks. But what I can do is, what I did is I go in and I pre-schedule my price change. And I can say started on this date, ended on that date. For example, this is an old screenshot, but Canadian Werewolf is 99 cents for the entire month. I can set it and kind of forget it. Well, I couldn't forget it because I had to go and manually do it on Amazon the day of. But I also logged into my Kobo dashboard and I pre-scheduled it. And I also logged into my Google Play dashboard and I pre-scheduled it. I'm pretty sure that all the major platforms allow you this pre-scheduling, except Amazon doesn't. So any book that I'm publishing Amazon through D2D, I can take advantage of this. That's a really cool feature. I love that, having access to that. Now, pre-orders, an assetless pre-order means you can load a pre-order for a book. And you can just have, ideally the cover and the description and stuff, but you don't necessarily need to have an interior that's good to go, ready to go. And we'll publish that to our partners. Now, there are some of our partners who will not accept assetless pre-orders. Most of our library partners, I think 90%, there's only one partner that does accept them. Most of our partners won't accept that. So that means, when you finally get that file back from your editor and stuff like that, and it's good to go, you can take advantage of it. And pre-orders are really important because, especially at partners like Kobo and Apple, you kind of get a double bang for your buck when you can up your pre-order game. Another cool thing Megan does for you authors every single week is she's running this monthly pre-order report. And she sends a hot pre-order report to all of our library and retail partners saying, hey, here are books that are coming out in the next month or so. And here, we're not sharing the pre-order numbers, but here are the pre-order rankings for these. These books have a lot of pre-orders, because we're not saying, hey, Apple, this is being pre-ordered at Nook and stuff. We're not sharing that data because it's proprietary, but we are letting our partners know what the hot pre-orders are, because then they may want to take another look at it and potentially feature things. So that's kind of really, really cool. Now, the last thing is pre-sales, and pre-sales may be a little bit confusing because it's not a pre-order, and the Smashwords store does not yet have pre-orders. That will be coming in the future. But a pre-sale, think of it like if you're doing something with a Kickstarter or Patreon where you give access to your biggest fans early, so you can set up a pre-sale and say, hey, this book isn't coming out till August 1st, but as of July 1st, you, my newsletter subscribers, have access to a pre-sale, so you can buy it from me early before anyone else gets it. And then, obviously, those are the people that can leave reviews on release day or prior to release day and stuff like that on the Smashwords store, because they can review it on the Smashwords store as well. So that's a really cool feature that we've had some of our top Smashwords authors using this for years. And basically, and again, like in a Kickstarter or like in one of those supported from your community of fans. It's a great way to give your fans something early. Maybe you get access to it for a discount, a better price than it's going to be available to everyone else, but you can really leverage that to give it to them early and have that delivered. So let me see. Some questions. I'm just going to scroll back up. Collab coffees. Okay, can I sell my audiobooks in Draft2Digital? So Christopher, no, you can't. There's two things you can do though. You can punt your metadata over to our partner, trusted partner, Findaway Voices. They distribute to 43 plus library and retail platforms. They're very much like us in the way that they distribute. Or we do have a partnership with Apple, and it's AI digitally narrated audio. It's actually really sophisticated because Apple doesn't do anything that isn't awesome in terms of the crafting and the creation of it. So you have that choice with audiobooks, but no, we don't sell them. Apple will sell them for you. But we allow you to get to one of our partners there. So, and thanks, Barbara. I'm glad you like the promo opportunities that we have. Aunt Sophia says, thanks. I opened my D2D account yesterday. One more question. For a print book, can the cover have both matte and glossy on the same cover if my designer embeds those codes in the PDF? And Sophia, no, I don't think so, because the matte and the glossy is the actual coating that's put on the book. And I'm not a smart enough person in terms of printing to understand if that duality is even possible. I don't think it's possible with the partner that we're using. It may be possible with players like Book Vault are doing some more sophisticated things, but unfortunately, I'm so sorry. You pick matte or you pick glossy. Right now, that's all or none. Feel free to email at request in, and we can check that out with our partner to see if that's a possibility. And Authortunities, I'm glad you're falling in love with D2D. I fell in love with them so badly, I wanted to join the team eventually, which I did. So I'm really excited. Cool. And Guillaume says, yeah, D2D is amazing. Best thing about D2D is they have several partners. And yeah, our partners are great. Our partners and our authors really are partners in this because we're all in on this together. And oh my goodness, just right with Jody, you had to buy a Canadian Werewolf in New York. Oh, Jody, you know what I should have said, Jody, is part of the Smashwords July sale, because it's 99 cents, 75% off, brings it to below $1. It's actually free on Smashwords. But thank you for your support. I hope you have a howling good time with that story. Okay, and then another question I get to before I go back to the slideshow is, Nadeem says, do I need to wait if my print book still shows preparing manuscript on my dashboard? I'm new to D2D and not sure of the next step. So let me see. The print book shows preparing manuscript on the dashboard. If that means if you've already submitted it, actually, you know what, Nadeem, since I can't see your dashboard, it's probably best to email that over to support at Draft2Digital and double check that. But I think, or is the preparing the manuscript the step after you load it, and it takes like 30 seconds or maybe up to a minute when it's processing, and then you can click on the next screen? That's what without having that in front of me, seeing it myself, I'm probably not going to give you the right answer for that. But if you email support at draft2digital.com, just remember, my colleagues are enjoying, most of them should be enjoying their day off today. They'll be back in the office tomorrow. Okay, so, and so you've already, thank you, Nadeem, you already submitted it. So preparing manuscript probably means you should get a notification that once it's ready to go, author copies would be available that you can order. That means you can order them and then have them shipped to you or drop shipped to readers or whatever. So there should be a notification that says it's live at that point. But once you see author copies are available to order, then that should mean it's going to be in processing, which means it'll probably get pushed out to the various print retailers. So that should be good to go for you. So awesome. And thank you for those questions. All right, let's bump on to the next slides here. I wanted to make sure I stay on. This is I was testing pre-sales on how to write a howling good story for some of Wolf's fans early on in that before the book. The book is already out already, but that was just a test screenshot. Now, if you love Draft2Digital, not only can you love it, share it with a friend. That's a great way to thank. Just like, review my book. That's a great way to thank an author. Tell other people about Draft2Digital, but you can also earn money sharing your love of Draft2Digital with your author friends. So again, you go over to your account and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll actually see the Refer a Friend program. This is an example I have a custom URL for myself, Mark Leslie, the author name I write under. You can see that, 4 different friends have been referred and I've earned some money. Hey, it's not bad. Hey, it's $63. I'll take it. That's cool. That buys me a lot of really delicious craft beer. But the cool thing about that is the money doesn't come from the author who you refer. It comes out of Draft2Digital's pocket. And it's for the first 2 years of any sales that go through Draft2Digital for that account. And basically, Draft2Digital thanks you by giving you that affiliate fee. What a great way for you to share your love of Draft2Digital and us to put a little bit more coin in your pocket. Because, hey, kind of got to like that. $60 is $60, right? Now, and I already mentioned her before, we have an awesome full-time author promotions coordinator, and I'm honored I get to work with her. And she's amazing, and she is just the most super person you could ever have working for you, because she is also an author and she gets it and she understands it. And Megan, our promotions coordinator, is so passionate about helping authors, and not just helping authors in general, but trying to help authors who've never had a break yet, authors who have some books that look amazing. And what she spends a lot of time is meeting with our various partners and talking about, hey, did you know there's a great, in this theme, there's an author you might not have heard of that got something really awesome. But she also works with our partners to get you as many promotions as possible. So that's a really exciting thing. This font just didn't load properly when I said it. So let's see if I can read the screen. In 2023, the promo stats for the entire year was 88 promotions were run, 43 of them with Apple Books, 22 of them with libraries, and 14 with Kobo. 148,000 emails were sent, which it was 26,000 submissions of titles from you guys received, and a little over 18,000 of those titles were selected from our promo partners. So, 18,000 indie author books in promos for 2023, all thanks to the hard work that Megan constantly puts in, day out. That is her focus. That is her job. Her number one priority is promoting authors through Draft2Digital. Now, in 2024, she just got me these numbers yesterday. And even so, I know that she got them to me early yesterday. There's probably higher because she was still working through it the whole day. And obviously doing some work today here. So 46 promos this year, 26 with Apple, 10 with Kobo, 9 with library, 93,000 emails sent, or almost 94,000 emails sent, 8,500 roughly submissions received, and now 3,000, almost 900 titles selected for promo. Now, Megan's working on a major promo. Been talking with the good folks, the merchandising team and the higher ups at Kobo about this, to have a massive landing page of nothing but Draft2Digital author titles coming up in Kobo, and Megan will be sending that out very shortly. Amazing opportunity. And if you want to be able to fill out the promo form so you can get on the list, just email support@draft2digital.com and ask for that. And there's a form you fill out that says, hey, my name's Mark, I write urban fantasy, I publish to Nook and Apple and Overdrive, for example, through Draft2Digital. And then Megan will say, now, if you're publishing a title, in this particular case to Kobo through Draft2Digital, then that title would be eligible for this promo. She's doing some custom caramels. I like caramels. Custom carousels over on the Smashwords store as well. And she's got some more library stuff coming in. But I said to email, but hey, look, you go to d2d.tips/d2d promo form. So go to d2d.tips/d2d promo form. When you're logged into your Draft2Digital account, you should be okay. It'll already know what your email address is, so it saves you entering a couple of those bits of information. Then you can do a couple things here. You can tell us, hey, my name's Mark, I write this, I publish to these platforms. That's great. That helps Megan know to put you on a mailing list. Also, check your spam folder regularly. Add promotions at draft2digital.com to your contacts, so it ideally doesn't go into your spam folder. But you can also tell us about, hey, I've got a BookBub coming up, or I've got some sort of other special promo coming up, and let us know, because that may be something Megan can use to take to one of the retail partners that she's talking to on a regular basis. Cool. So yeah, Megan says everyone can get a slice of the promo pie, and we all love a promo pie. That is so exciting. Okay, cool. Let me move on to the next slide. I have to say, the air conditioner's off. The windows are completely closed because there's construction people doing stuff across the street, which is why I'm not wearing my normal jacket. I mean, it is hot up here. I am sweating. I really need to move my office to the basement in the summer. But we have special, several DIY promo options. So a DIY promo, as opposed to, yes, Megan does a lot of work. She's amazing. She's awesome. She's going to try and help. Yes, make sure you check your spam for emails from Megan, because honestly, Megan may send an email to 1,000 writers and only hear back from 200 of them or 300 of them. And that the fear she has is, well, they missed it. They didn't see it. They missed an opportunity. And we hate when authors miss opportunities. So that's when she's doing all that work collaboratively with you to try and get you into promos, but you can do DIY promos yourself. And so here's a few things for DIY promos. I mentioned this earlier when somebody was asking about the author landing page. So you can create books to read landing merch pages. You can merchandise whatever you want, and it's universal book links. So books2read.com is our universal book links. You can link to your email list. So basically, people can subscribe to that. You can link, you have author profiles. You can feature whatever you want, carousels that you want, heroes, widgets, and basically create reading lists. So it's kind of like, hey, I've got together with a whole bunch of friends who all write this particular style or genre, and we're just going to feature a bunch of different titles. And every week we're going to change it. And the hero this week is my book, and the hero next week is my friend's book. And we just keep alternating that. And all of us, through our author newsletters, are going to just drive customers there. And the nice thing about a landing page like this is it's not reliant on a retailer. It's not reliant on discounts or anything like that, or any of those price promos. It's reliant upon authors driving people to all the retailers through Books to Read, not just a single retailer, which is even better because we like being inclusive as much as we can. This is an example, for example, of an author page for Books to Read, and then you go to books2read.com/Mark Leslie, and I can feature whatever title I have at the top, and I can say this is a new release or whatever it is. I can have carousels that I can name, and I can say if it's in a series in progress, or a completed series, etc. I don't even have to publish books through Draft2Digital to use this. So what you see is that third carousel is a bunch of my traditionally published books published by Dundurn, a Canadian publisher here. Then you can custom name the carousel. So you have this really ugly, author page / gobbledygook, or you can go in and custom name it, just like you can custom name your universal book links. And then, of course, Smashwords coupon codes as well, where you can go and do your promos. In your Draft2Digital dashboard, you click on the promotions, and then you click on Multibook Actions, which we looked at a little bit before. And then, and then you can create coupon codes. I guess I didn't put in the screenshots there, but I can create coupon codes to the Smashwords store that can be private, that I only send out to my newsletter people. And it's a coupon code. So again, you're not in violation of the price restrictions that you have, where you have to have the same price on every retailer, just like the month-long July promo that we have going on, the winter summer sale for July. It's a coupon code, so you keep your regular price and you say, hey, 75% off or free or whatever. You can make it public, you can make it private, you can limit it. You can say, hey, the first 5 people get it for free, and then after that it expires, and it'll automatically expire. So some really creative things you can do with coupon codes, and I'm sure I'd love us to do a special episode just talking about creative things that authors have done leveraging coupon codes with their own communities, etc. Now, I did mention earlier we have a partnership with Apple Books, and if you've got your ebook loaded to Draft2Digital, you can push a button and have it pushed over to our partner at Apple Books and pick a narrator, and we've got free digitally narrated audiobooks. It's actually a really great opportunity. I believe we may have just recently or in the process of adding a few other voices. You can listen to the samples of the voices, and it's not every genre is represented. So if your book is eligible, you'll see the option to submit it. Now, it's completely free. It costs you nothing. The downside, and again, this is a bit of a downside, is you don't have the control like you would with Google Play audiobooks, where you can go in and say, oh, they didn't pronounce this right, change the pronunciation, and you can play around with it, and you can proof listen to it. It is free. You do set the price. Apple allows you, and you make a pretty big chunk of change on it. And Apple's also allowing, if you have your book available there, to allow us to send it over to Overdrive. And it is identify it so that consumers know they're getting a digitally narrated product. So that's a really cool. Again, if you can't afford audio and you're experimenting with the audiobooks and you want to see if there's an audience for it, this is a great way to test drive it, and it doesn't really cost you anything. Now, speaking of costs, I like more money in authors' pockets. I know Draft2Digital likes more money in authors' pockets, but did you know that the Smashwords store actually offers more margin? The only other place you're going to get better margin is direct sales. So short of direct sales, this is the highest margin you're going to get as an author. So it works based on the shopping cart, not upon your book price. So if the shopping cart total is 99 cents, the lowest margin you're going to earn in the Smashwords store is about 57%. And if your shopping cart goes up to $1.99, it goes up to just under 70%. So that's kind of amazing. That's kind of spectacular compared to what you get, publishing direct to most of the other retailers. Now, the interesting thing is your 99-cent book and someone else's 99-cent book and someone else's 99-cent book, everyone gets that. And the reason for this, the reason we can be more generous, is because the main fee are the credit card processing fees and the other fees associated with that transaction. We have to make sure we cover those costs, which means then we can relay more of the money to you. So when the shopping cart goes up to $2.99, that goes up to 74%. Then at $4, it goes up to 76%. Then at $5, which is usually the average price that most indie authors are now pricing full-length novels at, you're getting 77.42% at $4.99. But imagine if somebody throws a whole bunch of books into the shopping cart, and that brings it up to $10, where you're making 80%. So pretty exciting opportunities there. And then the other thing, this is a little bit old news, but I love sharing it because it's an exciting number, that as of October 2023, Draft2Digital and Smashwords, now combined as one beautiful magical company, have helped bring more than 1 million books into the world. 1 million of your books, and that's something we could not do without you. So I'm going to pop that off the screen so I can now take a look at just how much I'm sweating when I see the video here. But so let's see if there's any other questions that pop up. Okay, so let me see. Barbara, I'm on the Kobo and Smashwords promos now with my personal account. Started a new account for my writers group, and we just published our first anthology. Congratulations, Barbara! Woo! And hopefully you took advantage of payment splitting for that anthology. That's kind of cool. So lots of Barbara asks, where's this landing page? I'm wondering if the landing page is that like the Books to Read landing page. So if you log into bookstoread.com. And you log into your dashboard, you'll see there's an option for universal book links, but then there's reading lists. And then there's also another drop down that shows you where you can control your author page as well. And if you have any trouble with that, please either comment again so I can see it, or email our lovely, awesome, amazing support team who are taking a well-deserved break today. And Gayum, hey, congrats. Overdrive just bought one of your ebooks. That is fantastic. So exciting. So exciting. So I love to see when you guys sell books to libraries, especially in Guillaume, you're in Europe as well. So make sure if your country has a public lending rights program, double check to see when you can register. I know in Canada, public lending right program is from February until May every year. And we have to, actually print off a thing that we get off the website, fill out, take photocopies of the table of contents and copyright page, and mail that in. Yeah, snail mail. Now the U.S. does not have a public lending right program, unfortunately, but 36 countries in the world do. And what it is you get money for your books being in public libraries, because it's in Canada here. Canada Council for the Arts and the Writers Union of Canada petitioned to get part of the Public Lending Right International formed here in Canada. And I'll be honest with you, it's a really nice 4-figure check that I get every year from the good folks at Public Lending Right. So I constantly encourage people to go get my books for free at the library, because it actually helps me. I make the sale through Draft2Digital, or for print, whether I'm doing that through Ingram Spark or Draft2Digital or other methods that I'm getting them. I'm making the print sale, but I'm also, for the most part, getting my ebook sale through Draft2Digital, and then of course Findaway Voices for my audiobooks. But then I get that other benefit. So I'm close to the end of, it's going to be a 45-minute call, but I'm close to the end. I want to thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So, on for Americans on your holiday, I hope you can kick back and relax and maybe enjoy some of the things that Draft2Digital built for you to save you time and energy and make your writing and publishing life a little bit easier. So I hope you can enjoy that. And if you're somewhere else in the world, just enjoy the fact that, come on, you're a writer. And here's the cool thing about this. You, as a writer, whether you're just starting out and have just published your first book, or whether you've published dozens of books already, you're changing the world for the better. And we here at Draft2Digital are absolutely honored that we get to be a small part of that process to help you to build these tools, to help you get those works out into the market, to make them available so that you can change the world for the better. Because that's exactly what writing does, is you're connecting people, reader and writer. And isn't that magical? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that worth celebrating no matter where you are? So thank you for being an author. We can't do what we do without you. So thanks for watching. I hope that in those 10, 15, 16 things I said, I hope there's at least one thing that you did not know, so that you can take that away and say, oh, that's a cool tool. I'm going to take advantage of that. If you have any questions at any point in terms of Draft2Digital or whatever, we do the Self-Publishing Insiders every week here at 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Jim Azevedo is the main host. You'll mostly see Jim doing really awesome interviews with really amazing folks from the industry. We occasionally do some Ask Us Anythings, et cetera, but you can always email our support team as well. So just as well. This is Mike asked the question, isn't Findaway Voices now part of Spotify? Yeah, that's right. Spotify purchased the company Findaway, of which Findaway Voices was a part. And so, yes, they are owned by Spotify now, which is one of the reasons why you can get your books onto Spotify so easily through Findaway Voices as well. And again, just right with Jody Jean, I should say, Daniel says, thanks so much. Always so helpful. So Tracy, appreciate that. Or hugs to Trace. And opportunities. Yes, thank you so much for that. It's been really, really cool. And a Desert Sluice, new to D2D. I'm so glad that I answered a ton of your questions. That's why we wanted to put this video together. So then potentially, our customer service team can say, hey, if you can stand listening to a bald Canadian ramble on for 45 minutes, here's a bunch of things that you may want to check out in terms of Draft2Digital, even if it's just to check out the really cool Author at Work sign that Liz put together for me here. But I want to thank you guys so much. Like I said, we couldn't do this without you guys. We love being here every week. We love interacting with the amazing author community that we're so privileged to be a part of. Be sure to bookmark d2dlive.com so you don't miss what's coming up every single Thursday, the exciting guests. If you haven't, you can create a free account at draft2digital.com as well. So that is really exciting. And make sure, hey, thank you guys so much for the comments you've left, but make friends with the like button, share, comment, subscribe. It just helps us get in front of more people like you so we can share in our love and our enthusiasm for all the great things that we can do to make the world a better place by helping get more of your books into the world. So that is it for this. I want to thank you guys so much for being here on this lovely July 4th. It's just a gorgeous day. I'm looking forward to getting outside and enjoying a little bit of sun after I get some sunscreen on the palette here, top of the skull. But yeah, so that is it. So we're going to close out with just a word from a little word about one of the cool things that we can do with Draft2Digital. If only I could find the video. So again, thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day and happy writing.
Ebooks are great, but there's just something about having your words in print. Something you can hold in your hands, put on a shelf, sign for a reader. That's why we created D2D Print, a print-on-demand service that was built for you. We have free, beautiful templates to give your book a pro look, and we can even convert your ebook cover into a full wraparound cover for print. So many options for you and your books. And you can get started right now at draft2digital.com.